Last week, the Monitor's Mark Wildman traveled to Midville, Georgia, where important agricultural research is being conducted. This week, Mark made his way down to Plains, where another research facility is providing vital information for growers in that part of the state.
When people around the country think of Plains, Georgia, two things come to mind: Jimmy Carter and peanuts. Well, the former president was not on hand, but in the fields this year at the Southwest Research and Education Center, there are plenty of peanut trials.
Because of spotted wilt virus, we started planting a lot of our cultivars later in the season, mid to late May, early June. That puts us at risk for cool night temperatures in October that will slow the maturation process and potentially cut into yield potential. So we want to see if we can go back to planting in late April and early May when we got some soil moisture, and maybe we have warmer temperatures in the fall, in September, to finish harvest maturing out the crop.
This farm is doing important research work for the growers.
We have approximately 500 acres to conduct small plot research on. Probably about 150 acres of that we use in some really small plot research, and the other acres we use at large scale research.
Many of the experiments conducted here are conducted at other farms, so the results can be compared.
We do see in first climatic differences from location to location, slightly different elevation, just different rainfall patterns, that sort of thing. So we like to look at these cultivars and their response at the different locations, particularly as we're looking at planting date issues.
Here in Plains, the conditions are different than in other parts of the state, so producers in the area depend on good local research.
This is a heavy clay soil, heavy red clay, which is a real productive soil, but it is tough to work. A lot of old timers call it a 30-minute soil, which meant you only had 30 minutes to work it, and sometimes that's from 12 to 12:30 on Sunday.
Here in Plains, important research is being conducted on weeds. It's not uncommon to drive the highways of Georgia and see fields full of them.
Our biggest problems currently in the state are glyphosate-resistant pigweeds, but we also have ALS-resistant pigweeds, or Palmer amaranth, which is right behind me over my shoulder. This weed is a prolific seed producer, and it has become a major issue. Overall, it's scattered everywhere across the state in all of our crops virtually. You look out at cotton, you see glyphosate-resistant Palmer amaranth there. You look in our soybean crops, you look in our peanut crops, we have ALS-resistant Palmer amaranth there. So overall, this has become a major weed issue here in the past few years in the state.
The university has been researching ways to fight the problem, but the fear is the resistance to herbicides will get stronger.
One of the things that we've at the University of Georgia in weed science have been recommending is that farmers rotate their crops. Obviously, don't go obviously with peanut or cotton. We've suggested that they do rotations, even if they can include a corn crop or some of the grass crop. We've obviously told them to start using multiple types of herbicides with different modes of action. That's one of the biggest things that we've been requesting that they do.
Agriculture stays ahead of diseases and pests by modifying crops through good research. By using improved varieties, pesticides, and management practices, farmers are able to keep the food and fiber supply plentiful. And as long as the funding stays available, experiments like this one here in Plains will keep the peanuts plentiful and the cotton high. Reporting from Plains, Georgia, I'm Mark Wildman for the Georgia Farm Monitor.